to say it is extremely hard to find time to record with a newborn. However, I am here. I am making it happen. Here is sweet Valentina. We call her Val. We also call her Valen or Valen for Valentina. Say hi. Hello, everybody. Hello. Oh, the faces and the sounds we make are so fun. We are about to go on a little stroll, right? Little stroll. Today we are 6 weeks and 2 days. Yes, aren't we? She just had her 6-week appointment yesterday and she is now 11 pounds. A little over 11 pounds. So she is a big girl. So we are gonna go ahead and head on outside and hopefully she will be okay with it because sometimes she is not, so we shall see. In order to get anything done these days, I have to wear little Missy to get anything done. So I am going to take you to the mailbox and I'm going to share with you my C-section recovery. Let's see if I can get this done while walking, trying to keep her happy and stimulated at the same time. So I'm going to take you on a little detour before we go check the mail. It has been a long recovery. I feel like I'm still not done. I'm still recovering. We are in 6 weeks. I'm still not completely normal. You know, it is a major surgery that you go through, and I didn't think that that would be where I went, you know? I didn't think that would be the way that this little girl would come out. So I just didn't even think that that was a possibility. But wow, I mean, a cesarean birth is a big deal. I said this on my Instagram, but I used to think that having a C-section is an easy way of having a baby, and it's not. I mean, I'm not going to say it's the hardest way, but it sure is not the easiest way. I will say that because, you know, once the baby is out, you're bleeding and you're recovering from a major surgery. I have heard many women who have had some serious tears or some really bad hemorrhoids from pushing the baby from having a vaginal birth. So in those instances, that recovery time takes a really long time too. And that is not, I've heard some horror stories and that's rough too. For me, I didn't realize how hard it would be and how long it would take to feel okay to get out of the bed or to have her in my arms and to get up out of the couch, off the couch or off the bed. I mean, it was really hard. I'm still sore. I will say it was really rough in the hospital. We had to stay in the hospital a few days later than expected because this little girl had jaundice, and from what I understand, it was because our blood types are different. So I'm an O positive and she is an A positive from her daddy, who was AB. So because of the blood types, it created jaundice. And she, depending on the level of jaundice the baby has, depends on how long they have to be under the Billy lights. And so it was really hard because this little girl came out guns blazing from the very beginning. I mean, she yelled, cried instantly as soon as she came out. And she honestly is the same way now. Like, if she is touched or if she's held by someone that she doesn't want to be held, when we put her in the bath, she looks terrified, but when we take her out, she hates it because of the cold. I mean, hates it. Hi. She's a really strong girl though. Aren't you, my dear? You are so strong. Yes, you are. Okay, we'll keep moving. We'll keep moving. So that was difficult because, you know, I didn't plan on having a hospital birth. I planned on being at home. And so not only were we in a setting that I didn't expect, but we couldn't get discharged. We weren't allowed to leave. And that honestly felt somewhat like a prison sentence. I was depressed. I was trying to deal with the cesarean birth that I just had, a whirlwind of days of not sleeping, dealing with contractions, you know, just all of it. And then, you know, then we're having to stay stuck there. The other part of it was that if I don't move, if I stop moving, she gets unhappy. So we gotta keep moving. We gotta keep moving. When they put her under the billy lights, she was in that bassinet, but she was on her back. And she did not like it. She screamed bloody murder the entire time. And they had her under the lights for 3 days. All day and all night. And I couldn't handle it. We couldn't handle it just after several hours from one day. And so I just said, hey, like, I'm not gonna like see my daughter crying. We're in the same room. She's not in the NICU. We're in the same room and she's crying so loudly. It's like, it's gutting me. Like I'm in tears. There was a pad, and so I put the pad on my body and I put the lights next to her bed, and she laid on us, and we just took turns for 3 days. And that's the way we did it. And she was able to sleep that way. We were able to be calm and at peace. It was rough. That whole experience, unfortunately, was awful. Mondo and I came home and we had not slept in days because I couldn't sleep at night because she was laying on me, and I was so worried that, you know, what if I dropped her? I was straight running on adrenaline, let me tell you. And we came home, we bought some Chinese food on the way home. She's crying in the car seat because she hates it. And we get home and I eat and I am done. Like, I just like on the couch, like I was gone. And he's such a wonderful man. He already started like unpacking our bags and everything, and it was just so nice. But man, that was rough. I'm so thankful to be in this place, like that I'm healing, that she's bigger, that we're healing, that we're finding a routine somewhat, that we're finding some normalcy. While in the hospital, I wore, you know, like the mesh panties and the huge enormous pad, and it, you know, it was hard because they don't give you, at least for me, after the epidural and all that stuff, they gave me Tylenol and Motrin for the following days, and the nurses came and gave it to me like every so often, and they prescribed a ton of pain stuff for me at home, but towards the end, like, I didn't even feel pain, so I didn't feel it. Like, I bought some Motrin, we bought Tylenol, or we had Tylenol. No, I think we bought some. And I didn't take anything because honestly, I was okay. I mean, you know, we had her, she came out on a Wednesday and we left the hospital on a Saturday. So by the time I got home, I was hurting, like in the sense of like when I moved, when I got off the couch, when I got out of the bed, that's when it hurt the most. But it wasn't like just painful, just not doing anything. I was fine if I wasn't doing anything. She loves these walks. I tell you, these walks have been mandatory on a day-to-day basis because of this. This little baby is not an easy baby. More on that on another video of how I am dealing with life and a newborn that is considered high needs, but we'll get into that in a different video. It was rough for me being in the hospital, having nurses coming in and out. We were there for about a week, one day short of a week. So we saw a ton of nurses that were checking in, checking out. It's like having a relationship with these nurses because they take care of you for, you know, like 12 hours or so. And then 8 or 12 hours, something like that. And then they give you to another nurse, and then that nurse gives them to another nurse or gives us to another nurse. So it just changes like all the time, and it was just very interesting to keep changing and learning like their different ways of serving and taking care of their patients. It was really hard dealing with a C-section birth, dealing with that recovery, having a newborn in the middle of a coronavirus pandemic, because no one could help us. We didn't get any help. Mondo was the only one to help. And he was basically the one who cooked and, cleaned around the house and took care of the dog, and then also worked at the same time. So it was really hard for us. It's gotten better, obviously, because I've gotten stronger, but it was a lot on him. And it was hard for me because I couldn't do anything, and I wanted to, but I couldn't really move. I needed to just stay in bed, but that was hard because this little one is a little high maintenance. So especially at nighttime, I had to keep on getting out of the bed, and that was painful. That was hard, and I mostly take care of her while Mondo, he needs his rest so that he can work. And so that's just what we decided to do for us, that I would solely take responsibility for her. But I'll tell you right now, all she wants is me anyway. I'm not sure even if he did try to take her. He did in the beginning. He tried to take her some. I have been pumping a little bit. In the beginning, he fed her, but she solely really just wants me. As you can tell, I am going on walks now, but I was not walking. I wasn't doing much in the beginning at all. I just couldn't. It just hurt too much. Funny story, actually. I was afraid to look at my incision. I had a hard time accepting the fact that I was going to be cut open. And I didn't look at my incision probably until I was maybe 3 or 4 weeks postpartum. I had this dream while I was in the hospital that my incision was like from one end to the other, like from one side of my body to the other. And I remember thinking, why is my incision so long? Why is it different? Why is it different from everyone else's? And I told Mondo about my dream, and he told me, Salina, no, your incision is like that wide or something like that. He's like, no, but even after that, I still didn't want to see. I obviously had issues with it, but I've accepted it and I'm in a better place now. When I got home, I stopped using the mesh panties and the pad. I didn't really like it. And it's funny because a lot of women say that they liked that combination, or they liked the mesh panties, but I didn't like it. So I had ordered previously Always Discreet underwear, I think is what they are. They're basically like Depends. And I started using those, and I liked it because it was just one piece versus the two. And to me, it felt cleaner. Like I said before, I didn't expect to be bleeding and having to worry about an incision site as well. But because I've never had a C-section, I didn't know what to expect. So it sucks with that because you have the double whammy. You're not just bleeding, But they do say that you don't bleed as long, because when the OB is in there, cleaning the uterus out, they're taking some of that blood out so that you don't actually bleed as long as some women who have vaginal births. We are into this 6 weeks, and I stopped bleeding after 5 weeks. So I just stopped. I probably stopped 5 weeks and maybe 3 or 4 days. So it has been really nice to be free from that and not have to worry about pads or anything like that, because I hate wearing pads. Can you guys see how much I'm sweating? First of all, it is extremely muggy out here. I'm in Tennessee and southern heat, and even though we don't get as hot as like Arizona or some parts of California, it's very muggy here, as you can tell by my hair. Also, having her and her body heat on me doesn't really help. Some of you will ask what this is. This is called a, it's like a ring sling, I guess, but it is from Wildbird, wildbird.co, and that is where you can find it on the website. They have awesome patterns. I like this one because it's easy to put her in. It's not like I have a boba wrap and it's just like so much to put around you and in the front of you and then over you and then do it again. And I just like this one because it's a lot easier and it's cute. So guys, as you can see, I am hot. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of go over that. Let me know if you have any questions. I am much better. I am walking every day. I'm walking because, hey, it's good for me. I got the green light yesterday. My midwife told me that I can start working out again, although I will take it easy. Don't you worry. So she checked my cervix. It is closed and up there versus down. So it's where it needs to be. We talked about the reality of getting pregnant again and how soon and how soon would I like to get pregnant again. I hope and pray that I can get pregnant naturally. I mean, we have 2 embryos left, so we'll still transfer regardless. But hey, I'm open to the idea of being able to get pregnant naturally. That's a dream come true. Are you kidding me? However, I really don't want to get pregnant soon. I have gone through so many changes. I mean, to injecting myself with all of the hormones from IVF. I gained so much weight alone from that. Then getting pregnant, I gained so much weight from that. So it has just been so nice to not be on any hormones right now. I want to give my body a break, which means I'm not going to get on birth control because that's just more hormones. So we are just going to be wise about how we go about things, if you know what I mean. I would at least like to pay attention, really focus on this little one, and not be so eager to have another one because they are a lot of work. But of course, I am so thankful to have this little girl. She is the light of my life. She is wonderful. I love her to pieces. Every day I thank the Lord for her. She's my joy. I am just so happy to have her. It still feels surreal, guys, that she's here in my life. She's just everything I didn't know I wanted, because some of you might remember, but I had briefly talked about the gender that we had prayed for years was a boy. And that was because Mondo already has 2 girls, and I wanted to give him a son because even though he's had babies before, I wanted to give him something he's never had before. The Lord told us that we were going to have a girl 6 months before I got pregnant, and I didn't know what to think about that because I just wasn't ready for a girl. I had been thinking about a boy for 10 years. And but I'll tell you what, this little girl is everything the Lord knew I needed and wanted without even realizing it. So I am so in love with her and so thankful that the Lord has healed me and continuously healing me in ways I never knew through her. And it is incredible. So all right, guys, I'm gonna check them out. I am finally here. Thank you for being with me in my sweaty mess. It is really hard to figure out how to do all these videos with her because I have to do it while she's sleeping, and usually it's on me, or she's sleeping in the swing because she doesn't like to be put down. So she wants mommy all the time. I'm soaking it up because I know it goes fast, and I know she won't want me all the time. So guys, we love you so much. Thank you always for being here. If you are in the wait, I hope that my story can inspire you and give you hope that it may take a long time. It may not take very long for you, but there's hope in believing that it will happen. The Lord is faithful, and He wants to provide our every need and our wants, as long as it aligns with the Word of God. So you guys be good, and until next time, we'll see you then.